start talking because you introduced our topic of dumpster diving. What do you guys think that is going to be about?
Well, I hope you guys don't think about literally dumpster diving.
Well, sometimes that can be fun.
Well, you can be creative. Well, I actually, when I mentioned that dumpster diving, I was actually thinking about, you know, when we go through tough times, and some of us or most of us have a hard time to let go of what of familiarity, right? It could be like once you go through divorce or breakup or loss of a job or anything, name it, or something that your favorite thing, or an object, then you lost something, you lost it somewhere, right? And you feel like you're so attached to it because everyone has a attachment style, personality trait. And dumpster diving is a funny word, but at the same time, it makes you think that why am I so attached to that thing? Or why am I so attached to that house that you want to sell the house, but you don't want to sell the house because you're attached to the memories? It's all
Mm.
about the memories you're attached to it. You have a visitor. So yeah, to continue, it's like
Okay.
you we have an attachment
I thought
style.
was going to happen. Shh, Frankie.
Frankie,
Oh
join
no.
us on the podcast.
There's a, okay, you guys. Ricky, come here. We have a bear in our yard, and every time the bear goes by the doorbell, the certain part of the driveway, the doorbell rings.
I don't miss bear in Prince
There's
George.
nothing there. So
Yeah, so dumpster diving is I think is the better word to describe, the situation of why are we so attached to the familiarities or people that we hang out with, or the relationship that we 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 have with our partner, and not knowing there are wrong partners because we have this attachment style that's called dumpster diving, meaning you're just attached to the familiarity of the past, right? So we'll just wait for Angela here. She's just getting her dogs organized. So dumpster diving, what do you guys think? I see my fellow listeners here, or if you're watching us on YouTube, about dumpster diving. Like I said, it's like familiarity of the past. Like people can't let go of the past, of what they only have known and what they have taught themselves, or what people have taught themselves, or through social media or upbringing, right? Or through your parents' peer pressure from your parents or from your friends, or the social world, like they just let you think this is how it has been, this is how it should be and will always be, not knowing you should need to question why are you dumpster diving for? What is it that you are so attached to that, the
yes,
past,
ask yourself
or
the
or the
question.
leftovers? Why is addicted to that? It becomes an addiction without you knowing it, and that's why I call it dumpster diving. Yeah. So what do you think about that, Angela?
Sorry, you guys, about the dogs. So I just think that I think that if you're always getting the same results in your life over and over and over, it's because you're thinking the same thoughts over and over. And if
Yeah.
you're getting the same results as the past, but you want different results, you have to change your thoughts. You have to you can create a new identity for yourself if you want. You have to, okay, so I feel like that we have default thoughts from so many places, right? We've talked about this in lots of podcasts where we have default thoughts from generational thinking and conditioning. We have default thoughts from our own way of thinking, our family members, friends. Like, have you ever hung out with somebody long enough and you tend to notice that you start saying stuff that they're saying, or you start saying some kind of weird comment that they always say, and that, or you catch yourself, or I've caught myself saying something my mom always says. And then I thought, why am I saying that? That's her thing. I kind of just take it on by default, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And you don't have to take on all those default thoughts. And if you're living in the past and continually dumpster diving, to me, most likely you have a lot of unprocessed emotions.
that's right.
That's what I think. And
Yeah.
you have to allow yourself to feel all of those emotions. And they may be 20 years old, some of them. And that means even if
Mm-hmm.
they're not processed and they're that old, you're just thinking these same recycled thoughts over and over and over and over. And they're just like reuse, recycle, you know,
I like that.
giving you the same life that you have and nothing drastically different, because you have to think drastically different thoughts to get a different outlook
Exactly,
and
because
the future.
yeah, because a lot of people are wishing and wishing they could be that person themselves, but not knowing how to change their habits. But it's hard to change habit because of the familiarity of you keep dumpster diving, replaying the same scenario in your head, the same movie in your head with different faces. Different faces mean with different people, but the same story. Like, why am I repeating the same story in my life? But it's just a different people that I hang out with, or this different life partner I hang out, I am committed to be around, but it just feels the same. There's no aliveness, there's no, you know, yeah, so there's no growth, more like it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like you're not growing. So you need to start asking yourself questions about you. It's mainly about you. It's not about the person next to you, but that not person next to you can play a role to create that reality with your life. But if you're not aware of your own, what you truly want in life, you will keep dumpster diving. Like Angela said, it's because of unmet emotional needs, right? And yeah, and there's so many insecurities involved in that, and there's so many um, psychological story behind the intentions of not deep and getting to know you. Are a lot of people are scared of that, looking themselves in the mirror.
Yeah. You guys, we wish we would have picked a different partner. We wish we would have taken that job, or we wish
Yeah,
if we would have had that child, or if I would have been with that person, or done this or done that. I mean, there's so many scenarios, and you cannot beat yourself up enough to fix something. You have to allow it to be. And we're all human. We all have the same thoughts and feelings about going there. But I think the biggest key is being aware of when you fall back into the dumpster, you can pull yourself out, because
yeah,
you can, like, going back to that talk we had about being the observer.
yeah,
When you're more of an observer, sometimes you're more self-aware. And
yeah,
so you don't have to spend so long in that period of the past. We all
exactly.
fall into the past and past thoughts of and get wound in, but if you can get out of it quickly and move towards focusing on your vision and the future and what you do want to create, that's so positive and powerful, like self-empowering thoughts,
Yeah,
it's way more healing than focusing on the old outdated thoughts that you absolutely cannot change. I mean, why not focus on something that we can control? We can control what we do, we can control our
exactly.
habits, we can control a lot of things, even though we think we can't. We
Yeah,
can control our behavior, we can control the words that come out of our mouth. We have the ability to control some stuff, not everything in life, but a lot of things. So we can choose to control those things as much as we can, because the other stuff, we have no control over it anyway, and we never will. So there's no point in focusing on that and the past and what if. It's all about the future and creating a new You can redesign your whole life, create yourself a new identity just by the way that you're thinking. It's so powerful.
It is powerful. I agree because the future is now. Every now moment, every nanoseconds you are breathing and living and choosing is now. There, and that's how you create your future. The past is a past. You learn from it, learn from the negative, but everything that is negative is actually just telling you the opposite of what you should be doing anyway. So when you're in a negative situation or you stumbled, now you start asking yourself questions of the opposite of that. What is the, contrast and clarity, right? Like contrast is the negative and the clarity is the positive. So ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? So what are you so fearful about? And you write that thing down and write a
That's a really
journal
good
about it.
idea. Writing things down is very self-empowering.
It is. So yeah, speaking of self-empowering, so what are the self-empowering that you are inspired to take actions in order to not dumpster dive anymore? So create change now, not tomorrow, because if not now, then when, right? So what are the empowering beliefs, empowering acts, inspired actions that you are conditioning yourself to create the change within you? Because this is you are the because you are the only one who can control your own life, your own choices. So let's ask our audience here, what are the self-empowering beliefs and inspired actions that you are willing and committed to to do in your life, something for change. That
Mm-hmm.
way you're not repeating your life 75 times for 75 years and call it living, right? Because that's
Yes,
insanity, right?
that's like that's
Hello.
what I mean, like thinking of it like recycled living.
Yeah.
Recycled living. Like over and over and over with the same kind of thought patterns.
Yeah. I mean, who wants that? Like recycle life, like
It's up to you. You're the expert in your own life. You can only be the one to change your own thoughts, right? Nobody can
exactly.
change them for you.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're going through let's say let's give a scenario here so that people will can relate. Like for example, if you're going through a divorce, depends on your situation. Do you want to fight for what is yours? Well, go ahead, but look at the how you're gonna strategize, or you do you want to dumpster dive something that you want to claim something from your ex, right? And I thought of that with mine, right? So and depend like I said, depends on the situation. If the situation it falls under that is going to be in your favor, well, go ahead, but making sure you're ready to strategize actions that will also create peace by the end of the day.
Mm.
And for some people, they may not have the means to do that, to do dumpster divings. They rather have the peace sometimes because peace is priceless than going dumpster diving, you know and claiming
That's
whatever you
priceless.
have and keep fighting until all your money is going to the lawyers and blah blah blah. Or are you just gonna create your own wealth right now? Never mind dumpster diving, meaning create your own peace by upgrading your skill and creating your own wealth and compounding that one, and speak to the right people, get a financial advisor or something like that. But that way you create your own peace of mind. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, pick your own battle, right? You have to really pick your own battle. Because just because the whole world is doing the same thing doesn't mean you are going to do it dumpster diving too. But how do you break the chain? How do you break generational curses? Are you going to take a different route and create your own wealth and be just within your control, not beyond your control? Because beyond your control is like you're not creating peace. Because peace is priceless. I'd rather have peace of mind, peace of, and because sometimes you have to do something that will break your heart but heal your soul.
Mm.
This is a big one for me.
That's a
Break
hard
your
choice to
heart.
make sometimes.
Yeah, break your heart but heal your soul. And for me, when I heard that, I stopped dumpster diving.
Mm.
So it was heartbroken, but at the same time, it heals my soul. Then that's when inspired actions keep downloading inside my head to create my own wealth, to create my own abundance, to create my own peace. Because peace is created. Everybody wants peace, 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 but they don't know how to create it, because peace is actually created. It's not given, but you have to create it. And that's why we're here in this world, is actually we're here to create. What are we going to create? Dumpster diving, recycling lifestyle, or create a new fulfilling lifestyle, right? That makes you feel alive, right? So what
Yeah,
makes
I
you
love
feel
that.
alive? Let's go there and focus on that. That is self-empowering.
Yeah,
What makes you feel alive? Get creative,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, I love that thought that you have to create your own peace and you have to
Mm-hmm.
have, it makes me think of how we keep our homes. It makes me think of how you choose where you live. Like
Yeah,
all of those things, you're, if you don't like where you are and you don't feel peace where you are, you're the only one that can change that. And
yeah,
you, like, even where you work, if you feel like it's so disruptive and destructive to your emotional health or your mental health, only you
yeah,
can change that.
exactly.
And we have to be self-aware to be able to do that. And creating your own peace in your own environment, it just like, oh man, I had to do that before. At my old house I was in, I was living in a subdivision, and I had this crazy neighbor on one side and really nice people on the other, and then this other one in front of us. And they called it, they had nicknames. Like one was the mayor and one was the premier
Funny.
president or whatever of the road. And it's because they all knew everybody's business and they were all, it was just too much for me. I was like, I can't take this. I need peace. Like, so then we
Mm-hmm.
put up a fence, we put up a gazebo on our deck, and the neighbors told us they felt like we were ostracizing them. And I thought, oh my word, we're just trying to get a little peace
Peace,
and
yeah,
peace and, you know, quiet around here because of all the, like, I don't like, I guess I'm just not a person who likes that. I'm not a gossip. I don't like being in gossip and everybody's business. And so I thought we have to move. And when we saw the place, they're like, I'm out of here. Like I had to actually physically pick up and move to create that peace for myself. And, I've moved on with those. People don't bother me now thinking about them. But when you're in it, it's like, it feels like your home is supposed to be your safe place. Your home is where you go to go unwind and and if you go home and you feel all like that's your yucky place, maybe you don't need to move. Maybe you just need to declutter, because
yeah,
decluttering physical environment will declutter your
yeah,
emotional,
exactly. That's where
you
I
know.
was gonna go. Yeah. Speaking of declutter, sometimes there's this thought I was just thinking while you were saying about declutter. Sorry to cut you off.
No.
Is that let me ask the audience here. Okay, this is gonna be a powerful question. We're talking about dumpster diving outside of ourselves. What if you are the one creating you are the one being the dumpster dive? You are creating the dumpster diving environment within your body. What are you putting in your body and in your house? What are you accumulating in your house? Are you creating a garbage dump in your house? What are the things
Yes,
are you
that
that
is so
person
good.
creating
That
that,
is so
right?
good.
So,
Yes, and about your health. Are you creating a garbage dump in your body?
yeah, right? So, what are the things you want to get rid of? How about your clothes? Get rid of the clothes that you no longer serving you, but don't break the bank at the same time. So, what is it that you want to declutter in your own home? Things that you want to get rid of that's been sitting there collecting dust. What about how you take care of your own body, your health wise? How do you take charge of that? Are you keep putting more junk in it, junk in it, and junk in it? I mean, speaking of health, right? It's the same thing. How do you
Mm,
declutter? Because we can all eat healthy food and look healthy, but we don't have energy because we're our inner world, our mindset, our soul set, our heart set, and our body set has not been detoxed. We're not detoxing. We're just keep putting nice clean things, but we're not sweeping off the dirt, right?
yeah. This
So we need
reminds
to
me of
detox.
just about a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. I did like a major closet declutter, and I've done them lots.
Mm-hmm.
But this time I was different. I
Yes.
tried every single, well, first of all, I got rid of everything right away that I didn't want and I put it in another pile. And then after that, I looked at everything I thought I did want and I tried every single thing on. And if it was unflattering, it didn't fit, it was too short, because at my age, you're not wearing cropped clothes anymore. Like it just unflattering things. Do
Yeah.
And I got rid of so many things more from the keep pile. Like, I'm not even kidding you, tons of stuff. And it felt so light. It felt like so much was lifted. And I'm going to be able to donate those, and somebody else will get some amazing use out of them. And I asked myself, like what you said earlier, why did I even buy this outfit? Would I even buy this again for myself, or would I pick something different for myself, or would I be more aware of what I'm bringing into my house and the clutter I'm creating?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a bunch of different thoughts, but a lot sometimes, where I'm going with this whole long story short thing is that sometimes even clothes can have an energy to them
Mm-hmm.
that brings you into your past,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
if I don't want to, I think of
Don't say.
outfits that I wore during certain, like, say, a funeral or
Yeah.
something I wore somewhere else, and it reminds you instantly of that, an event. For me, when I was going through my stuff, I'll be totally candid and share this with you. I had a whole bunch of random hospital things that came home because I would always be sick and they'd send me home in the hospital clothes. And I was saving these hospital
Oh my gosh, you
outfits.
did?
I was
Oh,
saving them all for, like, well, what if? And
the what if?
what if, okay,
Mm.
maybe I'll be a patient on Halloween one day, even though I don't do Halloween. I don't even know why I'd say that or think that. But anyway, I was saving weird clothes for, like, I don't know, maybe I'll go to an event. Maybe I'll need these comfy pants one day. And I thought, ew, and this is like, I've went through clothes a couple times and they still stayed there. And this time all of it went. Everything, I thought, no, all it does is bring me back to the past and
Mm-hmm.
negative memories of being ill in the hospital,
Yeah.
and just everything comes back when I even look at the items. So I think that that is something to really think about. It might not be
Yeah.
clothes, it might be an item, it might be a bowl, it might be something that was somebody else's,
Yeah.
or something that gives you a memory of somebody else's that you want to just let go. And
Yeah.
that's okay. Just let go of those things and not have that stuff all around you. Like, put things around you that bring you joy and peace,
Exactly.
gratitude and great.
Yeah.
Like, I have wonderful things from my grandma that I just love looking at, and old books and old needlepoint that I've saved from, that I've got from her, and quilts, and those all bring like those sacred,
Yeah.
peaceful memories, not that yucky hospital pants. Like, why,
Crab.
but
Yeah.
we all do these strange things and wonder why. And then
Yeah,
it's
like it
bizarre.
all boils down to not knowing what you want, not knowing who you are, right? But that's another topic to talk about. And when we let go, we make room for new healthy things if we want
Yes,
healthy things.
fresh,
Yeah,
fresh.
fresh things. right? So fresh, like plant new seed of hope, and don't underestimate hope, because hope is the beginning of your new chapter in life.
Oh, I
When
know.
there's,
And I have so much hope.
when the new chapter in life is calling your name, you better be prepared, because this is
I
your
love that.
calling. This is the calling of, it's requiring you a new version of you in order for you to be equipped to handle the next level.
Mm,
Because we need to always change it,
I
because
love
the
that.
only thing that's constant in life is change.
Mm-hmm.
And the way to approach that is learn to adapt and adjust. It's a fun game, you know. It's a fun game if you think it that way, that life
If you
is just
think
a
it that
tour.
way, yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you
like
have
a,
to
yeah,
choose those thoughts on purpose, right?
on purpose. That's right.
Yeah. And there's always those things that in the past that you're not maybe not ready to let go. Maybe you
Hmm.
haven't dealt with the grief part
That's it.
attached to it, and that's okay. You don't have to let it all go at one time. It's a work
No,
in progress, right? Like give
yeah,
yourself some compassion to work through things,
exactly. I love that.
and you'll just know when it's kind of you're able to kind of move forward and let things go. It doesn't mean the memory is gone forever. It doesn't mean
No,
that
you can't divorce memories.
triggered in the future or something won't spark
Yeah.
a terrible memory or a wonderful memory, but give
Hmm.
yourself that compassion to work through it slowly at your own
On
pace,
pace.
and if
Yeah,
you need support from somebody going through that, reach out, because
exactly.
you're not alone. You're not alone. There's people there to support you, and we're
Hmm.
here to support you. You can always reach out to us.
Yeah.
And I think that's important to when we're talking about dumpster diving, we're not talking about fresh crisis, a fresh challenge, a fresh
Yeah.
thing. We're talking about those other things that have been there for, you know,
Forever.
years and years, and
Yeah.
or fresh things that you can easily get pushed through and work through and change your thoughts around.
That's
You
beautiful.
become the best version of yourself, though. And
Hmm.
version of yourself that is going to be the one that works towards those big dreams and goals and visions. And I'm always talking about turning your pain into purpose,
I love that.
because if you can get to the point where you can turn your pain into purpose, you are contributing to others, you are using your gifts,
Yeah.
and that's got to be like the best thing to be able to, when you can give your gifts to others and give back through whatever outlet that is for you. I mean, it can be so many things, but it's a process, right? Like
It
this
is.
whole process doesn't happen overnight either.
No,
But I
or else
love what
your
you
body
said
will
about
shock.
you better be ready. Like be ready when that.
Well, ready or not, the truth will always pull you to your truth. Ready or not, this is your journey. This is what you signed up for. So I wasn't ready for some of the things that happened to me. I just like, what? You know,
Yeah,
but
well, I
I
didn't sign
learned.
up for a lot of things, I'll tell you that. But
Yeah,
I still had to work through them, and they're not gone. They're not gone forever. A lot of that past memories that are negative, we can see as empowering moments that we made it through that. Like
yeah,
that. I made it through this, and this, and I'm here now. Like, give yourself some credit for going through it
exactly.
all.
Yeah, we got all the scars to prove that. Maybe I should make a trip to
Yeah.
year 2003, 2004.
Yeah.
It's really, you just have to be grateful. It does humble you down, and eating your humble pie is part of it. But everything is all connected, all those negative things that happen to us, all divine timing, meaning that's the lesson, the time now you need to learn the lesson. when you hit rock bottom. That's just the world is telling, or the universe or God's telling you, it's time to learn this lesson. You're gonna hit rock bottom because you're not listening. This is how you're gonna pay attention to your lesson.
Oh
It's
my
when
God.
you
Talking, I know
reach the
exactly.
pain. And then that pain is actually just there to teach you a lesson of how you're going to turn it into a purpose. Just what Angela said, pain into purpose, or your grief into grace, your loss into love. How are you going to turn? But it has to take time, energy, and attention to, to create those energy into something better. But for some people, they get stuck in grieving, in the darkness of grieving. That's when you lose yourself. But you're not really actually lost, but you're just stuck. Unless you reach out for help, unless you reach out to how to delegate this and that so that you can actually focus on your own healing. Because you can't do everything. You need help, and yeah.
I felt that despair. I was there. You've been there. Like we've been in
We've
that
been there.
despair where you have that, where they say, that dark night of the soul, where you are
Mm,
so deep in it that there's no pulling yourself out right in that moment. That
yeah,
is feeling the feelings, right? And
yeah,
that processing the emotions. But once you kind of can come out of that despair point and you're just doing normal grieving for whatever scenario it is for
yeah.
you,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you can start to see things from a different perspective.
That's
It's
right.
in that dark moment, it's
Yeah,
that's the worst moment. But if you don't have that moment and you just block it off, and one day you will have that moment, like it'll drop you to your knees and you'll
oh
have
yeah,
it. So
it
if
gets
you
heavier.
deny yourself of it,
Yeah,
it will come when you least expect it, and probably when it's the most inconvenient
yeah.
time. And
And
I
then
saw all those red flags that were waving. If you don't learn, like the lesson, I didn't learn my lesson from my back.
mm-hmm.
So all the red flags started waving again.
Yeah.
Think, you're going to listen this time? Are you going to listen this time when I make something be so seriously wrong with you that you have to open your eyes?
Mm-hmm. It's a
Give
big
your
one.
body and your mind some serious love, self-love, some compassion,
Mm,
and worthy. And it's a shame sometimes that that we need to have those red flags waved again and again, and they'll just
yeah,
keep until we learn our lesson.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's unfortunate sometimes. I'm not saying something terrible will happen to you. I'm just saying that for me, that's what happened to me because I
yeah,
didn't need any warnings and I didn't show myself any compassion. I would just be a push through, a person who was like a do,
yeah,
overachiever,
yeah.
get done thing at any expense of myself, but make sure everybody else is okay, not me. It
Mhm.
didn't matter about me. I was always last on the board. I
Yeah,
made sure everything else was good. The house was good. The kids were good. The family was good. The job was good. The animals were good. It didn't matter if I wasn't good. I would just go crash out. And yeah, sometimes we have some really awful lessons, and
yeah,
that's a whole nother episode. But yeah, the red flags. Oh
yeah.
boy.
So tell us what you have learned. What are your dumpster diving scenario, and what are you willing to let go and create an self-empowering movement in your own life? So let us know. So thank you for being here with us, and creating this space for you is an honor for us to have
Yeah.
you all here who have joined us. And yeah, feel free to give us feedback and any question you may have. Let Angela and I know. And yeah, we'll get back to you.
Yes. And remember, if you're always getting the same results, you're thinking the same thoughts. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to think different thoughts to get different
Result.
results.
That's right.
And that's how you can move forward and
That's
get
right.
the dumpster.
No
Okay, guys.
more dumpster diving.
That was a great conversation. Sorry about my puppies, but it turned out a really good conversation
Yes,
anyway.
indeed.
And we love you all, and we'll catch you next time, friends. 7 o'clock Wednesday.
Bye
Bye.
bye.